all the news about big K-pop companies acquiring and shutting down certain services from fans, many have started to raise their concerns about the K-pop industry turning into a monopoly. But is the word monopoly being misused, or is that the direction that K-pop is heading towards? hoerangae. The definition of monopoly is the exclusive possession or control of the supply of or trade in a commodity or service, also known as when one controls the market with little or no substitute or competition. So then why is this word being used by fans in the K-pop industry? The term monopoly has been thrown around a lot recently as bigger companies in K-pop are starting to buy out smaller companies or services more than ever, with the main target being HYBE, as their business moves are laid out for the public for everyone to see. But is it fair to blame HYBE and accuse them of controlling the K-pop industry, or has this been happening for decades and is only a topic of discussion now because K-pop is bigger than ever? hoerangae. The big three include JYP, SM, and YG Entertainment, home to some of the biggest names in K-pop including Twice, Blackpink, NCT, Girls' Generation, Stray Kids, and EXO to name a few. And so the big three have been recognized as the most prestigious and respected companies in K-pop. SM and YG were both the pioneers for K-pop, as they both dominated the industry way back during the first generation. The K-pop genre was still new for the Korean public, as ballads and trot-style music was at its peak. The introduction of the new pop and hip-hop sound really gave the public a new, fresh experience, which led to a lot of people taking interest in the new sound, resulting in tons of success. JYP was later introduced into the trio, and all three companies were in competition with each other as they all had incredibly talented artists. As the popularity of K-pop grew in the first generation, many more successful groups and artists were pushed to debut under the big three as well. The success of all these artists skyrocketed through second, third, and into our current fourth gen K-pop. JYP, SM, and YG have built this empire and had a huge impact on the industry that can still be seen today. And this has led to the very controversial topic of the big three privilege. hoerangae. The big three privilege is a topic of discussion among many fans, and is often brought up when fans are comparing their idols' charting, styling, talent, and success to others. Debuting under these companies come with many perks and opportunities, which include, but are not limited to, more screen time on shows, debuting to a huge audience, higher budget on comebacks, releases, music videos, and training, and many more opportunities for rookie idols, especially as many become designer brand ambassadors right away. Training and being signed under these big labels give artists a huge push in their career, with groups racking in millions of views within the first 24 hours of release, or thousands upon thousands of pre-orders without the public even knowing who the group is. Small groups often get less screen time, getting their performances sped up or even cut so that bigger groups can bring in more viewers and have more screen time. With these big companies having the leading artists in the industry for multiple years, it left little room for smaller groups to break through. It created its own empire where every artist inside the big three was recognized as A-listers with no room to welcome in others. Yet not a lot of people ever referred to the big three as a monopoly. That was until a little company called Big Hit Entertainment debuted a boy group that would change not only the K-pop industry, but the entire music industry and South Korea as a whole. hoerangae. It's no surprise that the biggest K-pop company today is HYBE. They are home to the one and only BTS, who have broke boundaries not only for the K-pop industry but for South Korea as a country. HYBE has turned itself into an umbrella and is home to Big Hit Music, Source Music, Pledis Entertainment, and more. When HYBE initially started acquiring these companies, many people were worried that HYBE would start to take over the market. Comparisons were even being made to Disney, as they are known for buying out their competitors. Not only has HYBE broken into the K-pop industry, but they also made their way into the Western market as well. Now don't get me wrong, K-pop was already well known in the West, but HYBE alongside BTS really solidified it over there. And the reasoning why Big Hit became HYBE was to expand business ventures. And although this sounds very much like the beginning of a monopoly, it's really just a very smart business tactic. They now have all the resources and are using it to help smaller companies and give those artists opportunities that some of them may have not seen otherwise. They also have business ventures in the West where they acquired Ethica Holdings, which Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber are both under. HYBE went from an idol producing agency to a full-blown business that tackles much more than just entertainment. And although a lot of positive things have come out of HYBE's expansion, some still view a few of their actions a little worrisome.
hoerangae.
2021 was the shocking disbandment of G-Friend. Many netizens were quick to blame HYBE for their disbandment and blamed the Seraphim and New Jeans for it, as HYBE was in the talks about debuting a new girl group. It has been alleged that GFriend was forced to disband, and that's why all the news came as such a surprise. Another instance was when HYBE announced that they would be shutting down the very popular V-Live app and moving all the features to their own Weverse app. This upset many fans as not everybody was under the Weverse umbrella, and V-Live was open to every idol. It really fueled the flame that HYBE would be buying out their competitors and shutting them down so that they could control more of the services. Another example of this would be SM only a few days ago, buying out the Universe app and also shutting them down without notifying the users at all. They then announced that they would be moving all the features to their own Dear You Bubble service, which is an app where fans can privately message their idols. So it can be seen that brands or services that aren't doing so well are often bought out by bigger companies and shut down. And although a lot of people claim that this is HYBE's or another big company's way of turning into a monopoly, this is actually very common in the business world and is only being talked about right now in K-pop because of how big it's gotten over the past decade.
hoerangae.
So in conclusion, is the K-pop industry turning into a monopoly that is being run and controlled by only one company? No. We see it all the time in business. Bigger companies will always make more money and have more control over the market. It's just how it is. HYBE becoming as big as they are may look like they're there to destroy every other company, but there's actually proof that what they're doing is only benefiting the other companies they acquire. I found a quote somewhere where somebody described HYBE's impact on the industry by comparing it to a pie. They are not taking away slices, they are actually making the pie bigger and welcoming others to join it. As for the big three, they're also adding more to the K-pop industry, and although they may hold a lot of power and control, this would not fit the definition of a monopoly. A better word to use to describe the situation would be an oligopoly, where a small number of large firms have all or most of the sales in one category. Just like how HYBE, YG, JYP, and SM are the 4 biggest companies and bring in the most amount of money and success. But there is still room for other companies to breathe and break through as well. For example, we have KQ, which debuted ATEEZ, who organically grew to be million sellers and are now selling out arenas worldwide and are being recognized by the Recording Academy. Another example would be Starship with IVE, who have been crowned monster rookies after releasing hit after hit that went viral and bringing in all the trophies and big awards. So at the end of the day, let's remember that HYBE is an umbrella and the companies under it are subsidiaries, which mean that they function on their own, they just have more resources which are provided by HYBE. The bigger companies will always have more success than the smaller ones, but in conclusion, there is no monopoly in the K-pop industry.
hoerangae.
That's everything for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is the K-pop industry a monopoly, or is this another useless argument that people are just throwing around? Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And as Hoshi always says,
hoerangae.